So glad for all of you who are online watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send us some comments, and we're sending you love. Send us some love. Thank you for all of you who are present here in the sanctuary. Let's do what we do at the beginning of everything, which is what? Prayer. Let's pray. Let's turn within for a moment here, and let us know together the presence of that one divine beingness, that one divine essence of love, of wholeness, of harmony, of intelligence and wisdom. Let us know today that that is our nature, that the same that is true of God, the same that is true of the divine, the same that is true of the one is true of us, for all of life is one whole, perfect completeness. And so it's in this awareness that I bless this time together here this morning, that we gather in joy, the buzz of the room. We gather in joy. We gather in excitement, anticipation of what is it that Spirit wants to bring forth through us, as us, to us this morning. We know it is good. We know it is just so good. It is so sweet. It's something that it's a gift that we've been waiting for and wanting, and here it is today. Some gift for us. Precious gift is being offered today, and we accept it, I know. And I am just grateful for the gift that we are giving today and the gift that we are receiving today. Knowing all is well, I am grateful, and I let this be. And we join together in saying, and so it is. Yes. I am Reverend Gregory Toole, and what a pleasure it is to be with this community now for 4 months. Wow, it's like time is passing here. Next thing you know, I was thinking of a moment where I'll be like, oh, it's been a whole year. But so far, we're at 4 months. I'll just enjoy that. So I have some announcements for you here today. So, tomorrow, November 7th, is our spiritual discussion group and also our Labyrinth Walk. So the discussion group is at 2 p.m. and the Labyrinth Walk will be at 3:45 p.m. All are welcome to take that spiritual journey through the Labyrinth with us. I have a new class coming up. It starts this Saturday. Wow, it's here. It's here. It's called Conscious Loving, based on the book by the same title, Conscious Loving by Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. And the subtitle is The Journey to Co-Commitment. It's an excellent, amazing class to really take us into how to be in authentic, conscious, real, principle-based, spiritually principle-based relationship with each other. So how do we up-level our relationships in a way that's more fulfilling, more powerful, and more in alignment with the spiritual truth that we know. So I hope you'll join us for that class. There's more information out in the foyer. This Sunday, we have our Women's Circle meeting at 12:30 p.m. And then also on this Sunday, in the afternoon, we have an interfaith concert from 3 to 5 p.m. called Harmony Amidst Diversity. That'll be in Richelieu Hall. The admission is free, so I hope you'll join us. Our own Elise Carver will be singing at least one song there. I'll be doing a welcome, and then we'll have musicians from other spiritual communities singing, and it's all about peace. So it's a peace concert as well. There will be no yoga next Tuesday, so get your stretching in, get your inner embodiment in a different way that day, because on November 12th, next Tuesday, there won't be yoga here. We, at the center, would like to send you a birthday card, and to do that, we need to know when your birthday is. You don't have to give us the year. Just the day, what the birthday is, and we'll send you a birthday card. And if you're wanting to, also we'll collect emergency contact information. And that way of, we need to reach someone on your behalf, while you're here, we'll have that information. But of course, it's all optional. Mark your calendar. In December, starting in December, we will have, before this service, we'll have a meditation at 10:30. Starting in December, so you could come here early. We'll sit in meditation for 15 minutes, and then you'll still have 15 minutes in between where you could socialize or rest or hang out or whatever. And then on Sundays also, before the service at 10:30, we will have a meditation also right in here in the sanctuary, which means that the normal Science of Mind class on Sunday will start at 10 o'clock and go to 10:25 instead of right now it starts at 10:15. All right, so starting in December, on Sunday 10 to 10:25 will be the Science of Mind class. Then we'll gather right in here for a meditation. We'll go deep, and we'll be really ready for the Sunday service. That starts in December. Our monthly ecstatic dance is coming up not this Thursday, not tomorrow, but next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. Hope to see you there. Another brand new thing, save the date, starting in December, on December 19th, it's a Thursday evening, 6 to 8 p.m., we'll have our first vegan potluck. And you don't have to be vegan to come. It's just an opportunity to try out a plant-based diet. Because some people like, even though they still eat meat, some people say, well, I like to eat plant-based at least once a week or a couple times a week. So we're going to have a potluck to experiment and have fun. And you can look up recipes of vegan dishes and make one, or you could pick up something at Whole Foods, or you could just come and partake in the food that other people bring. You know, don't worry about it if you're like, oh, I'm intimidated by making a vegan dish. Don't worry about it. There'll be plenty of food there. We invite you every week to bring one can of food for our food table out there in the lobby, and that will really assist those who don't have food in our greater community. So we really appreciate you doing that. Our annual pledge campaign for 2025 is underway. Pledge cards and information about the pledge potluck are available out there at the front desk. So, yeah, you can do that. We've got pledge cards right there for you. Our pledge potluck is coming up in November, on November 17th, this month, a couple weeks, yeah. And lastly, a big thank you to all of our Sacred Service volunteers, which is many of you. Give yourselves a hand for being such wonderful, serving the community in such a beautiful way. And with that, got through all of that, and I'm going to call forth our beloved staff minister here, Reverend Valerie Reeves.
Thank you. Well, I love to start Best Day Ever, yes? And Best Day Ever, because Reverend Gregory said he would sing with me. I think we all should stand up, because we had a lot of stuff go on already this month. Yesterday was a big day. So whether you're happy or whether you're not happy or just in that flow with everything, we're going to sing I Release and I Let Go. So if you feel like standing up, let's sing it. And you're going to mic me or mute me. Thank you.
He's singing with me.
I release and I let go.
A little louder.
I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go.
job.
I don't know what the commentary from Grant is, but he's got my mic off. Was it the mic? Oh, the mic was on. Okay.
It was on.
Oh, it was
Yours
on.
was on.
Now
Mine
I'm in
was off
trouble.
because I requested.
Now I'm like, oh no, I don't want it on.
That's so funny. It reminds me of when my oldest son was in 4th grade. We did our whole congregation. We had the kids and the adults involved, and we did a Christmas carol. And he was the boy, and he came out with the carolers, and he was the only one mic'd, and he was not on tune. It's like that's all you could hear. And so that's always my fear. Yeah. It's like, okay. But we were all working it together, even though it was a little slower than we're used to. Awesome job. I love that. Because, whether you're, I don't even know what to say, whether you're happy or you're indifferent about what has transpired in the world, we know that something wonderful is always happening. It is this thing called life. And remembering, how many were here last week for Dr. Moira? Oh my God, was she amazing or what? I was so grateful to hear her words, especially as she was answering questions, saying that, God is the main source of everything that goes on. It's not anyone else except ourselves and that God within. So we get to create a world that we absolutely love and staying focused on that and I always want to say mind your business, which means mind your business, which is this thing called life, and creating a life that we absolutely love, staying focused on what we want and knowing that something wonderful is always happening, that America is always in the right and perfect space, that life is good, and it's all about community and keeping our minds right and being in that loving space. Laughter is always the best medicine. So laughing a lot, seeing the good in everything. And so today, my talk is, life is sweet. Let it rise. So I have a fun little quote that I passed out to most people. If you want to read it with me, we can. That would be great. So next slide should have it. There we go. Today, I recognize the abundance of life. I animate everything in my experience with this idea. I remember only the good. I accept only the good. I expect only the good. This is all I experience. I give thanks that this good is flowing in ever-increasing volume. I do not withhold this good from others, but proclaim that spiritual substance is flowing to each and to all as a daily supply. Yes, that there is good. So the Centers for Spiritual Living, we're part of a bigger group. There's about 436 centers for spiritual living across the world. We also have teaching centers, and then we have teaching chapters. So knowing that as we all combine our goodness and love and see the abundance and the gratitude in the world, that we continue to speak that. We also, every month, have a global theme. And this month, the global theme is abundance. Or you could say a bun dance. A bun dance, which is so much more fun, right? A bun dance is so much more fun than going into scarcity. We want to stay in that flow of life and in the goodness. And when things happen in our lives that it's like, oh, so bummed about that. And we can stay in some anger, frustration about something that didn't go right in our lives. Or we can see the good. Something good is happening. I have to look at this in my life and things that maybe I wasn't in the flow of life. Years ago, right after my oldest son graduated, I had moved to Idaho. My ex-husband had moved to Idaho. My oldest son decided he wanted to live there, so of course I had to move there because I don't want the good work I did messed up. So he wanted to spend his high school years in Idaho. So loaded up the other kids, and we moved from Nebraska up to Idaho. And it was not my favorite place. We all have places we love and places that maybe we don't. So as soon as he graduated, I was ready. I knew his ambition has always been, he is an actor. So it's like, okay, let's get to California. And nothing was in the flow. You ever have that where something, it's not in the flow, but you do it anyway? Yeah. I totally get that. So when things are not in the flow, it's like we have to find a way to listen to Spirit that's guiding and directing us, and also know that something wonderful is unfolding. So I had rented an apartment, but I needed a house that was going to be close to school for my other children, and I found something. It took a long time. So we had been living in an apartment through the summer, and then school was getting ready to start, and I was pushing the process. And something inside me wasn't feeling quite right, but I did it anyway. Gave this woman all my money, first and last month's rent, cleaning deposit. I had a couple dreams that just didn't feel right, and when I pulled up on the day, because she gave me a key, she said, try it, make sure it works. She gave me a hug, she gave my daughter a hug, and we were already kind of moving in our minds where we were going to put everything. So on that Saturday morning when I went to just go kind of scope things out, got to the door, and there was a note on the door that said, call LAPD, you've been scammed. The key didn't work. Yeah, I was devastated because I'm like, okay, I've already given notice on the apartment. We're supposed to be moving in. Things were not in the flow because I did not listen to my intuition. I was not in that flow of life. It's like, follow your intuition, but also know that something wonderful is always happening. So I called the name on the door, and he was a musician who had a baby, and him and his wife were expecting another baby. He called ABC News, Rick Romero. He came out and did a report on that, but then it's like, well, now what to do? And so tuning in, it's like, I think I'm going to have to go back to Nebraska for a while. Going to have to step back, regroup. Because, I mean, all that money gone. I wasn't at a free-flowing space abundantly, so it's like, okay, Spirit's saying go back. My dad had a place that he rented out, and it happened to be vacant, so that was perfect. So we went back to Nebraska. Now, I was not planning on doing that, but I learned so much, and things that I do today, I would not be doing had I not gone back to Nebraska. My son DJ had an opportunity to work with the community theater there. They did state competitions and always won, so he won a lot of awards, built up his acting chops. My other children, it's like things that happened were just so amazing. I worked with a team, and we did a lot of improv because they had a little improv place. And I look back on that and think, I couldn't have planned all the stuff and all the goodness that I got. Looking forward, I could only connect the dots backwards. It's like I couldn't have made that happen for myself, and I am so, so grateful that even in the face of something I didn't love to do, which was go backwards, it was so right and perfect, and I was so grateful. So finding gratitude and releasing, so I say I release and I let go, because even though things may not be working out the way we're wanting them to, there's something wonderful going on. I know that for me, and I know that for you, and for all of us, that something wonderful is unfolding in our lives. And we just keep proclaiming that and just keep knowing that and be in that space of abundance and love and gratitude. Being so grateful. And finding ways to release the things that make us angry. I know when we first got back to Nebraska, my daughter got a job because she had some things that she wanted to purchase for herself. And on her last day, she was working hard every single day. And on her last day of work there, she hit the car next to her. And it was about $1,500 worth of damage. That did not meet our deductible. So I said, this will be your bill. And she was so mad. And I said, you got 5 minutes to get your anger out, and then we'll talk about how we're going to make this work. She was a teenager. She just threw herself on the floor and just started screaming and crying and just, I'm so mad, I'm so mad. And I use that as a visual because there are times that, maybe I've gotten attached to something. Pain is in direct proportion to our expectation. If we have the expectation of this and it's not that, then we might have some anger within us. And so finding ways to get it out. I like to write and rip. I call it purging on paper, verbal vomit, let it go, and then move forward and find the good in it. What is the good here? Because there's always something good. It's like the two little twins where they sent each one of them in a room and there was a pile of manure. And one of them is just crying and beating on the door trying to get out. And the other one is going through the manure. And they said, what are you doing? He's like, I know there's a pony in here somewhere. Yeah. So we know there's a pony in there somewhere. It's just keeping ourselves in that wonderful space of love and light. So I have a fun little thing, but it's not this paper, because I know how enlightened all of you are. If you can start the day without caffeine or pep pills, if you can be cheerful, ignoring aches and pains, if you can resist complaining and boring people with your troubles, if you can eat some food every day and the same food every day and be grateful for it, if you can understand when loved ones are too busy to give you time, if you can overlook when people take things out on you when it was no fault of yours, when something goes wrong, if you can take criticism and blame without resentment, if you can face the world without lies and deceit, if you can conquer tension without medical help, if you can relax without liquor, if you can go to sleep without the aid of drugs, if you can do all these things, then you are probably the family dog. Yeah. It's like, wouldn't it be great if we all could just be happy like the dogs are? They're just so happy. Even if you scold them, then they come back and give you that cute little face and wag their tail, and it's like, okay, everything's okay now. So being in that space of letting things go and happy and free, like a dog. I think I'll be a puppy today, so being in that space of goodness. I do have another quote here. In everything give thanks. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are now in heaven. Okay, I did. I wanted to make sure I was on the same page as my PowerPoint. How we love to do things for those who cooperate with and are grateful for, or our small endeavor, gratitude, is our one and the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with the consciousness of unity. Crowned in heaven, crowned in our hearts, which is where heaven is. And the more we can be grateful for something, the more we get that. I remember when my little niece, I got her this special doll that I thought she just really wanted. And I didn't want that. I wanted a Barbie, and she just cried. Wasn't grateful for the present. And so it's like, well, I guess you're not getting anything from me next year, right? So we feel grateful when somebody is grateful for something. I've seen people get a half a tube of lipstick that was used and just be so grateful. Or somebody just get a little morsel of something and just be so grateful. And the more grateful for we are, the universe just says yes, yes, yes. Yes to us. So taking today and making sure that we're looking at all the things that we can be grateful for, because there's so much to be grateful for. And our cells in our body love that. We are just energy waves. And the more we can be in that vibration of love and peace and harmony and gratitude, then the universe says, yes, more for you. And be in that open space. Yes, more for you. More goodness. And knowing that something wonderful is always happening and working out for us. So how much can you give and how grateful can you be? How much can you give yourself love, peace, harmony, and goodness? Because if we can give it to ourselves, it's that song, I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love me so much, so we can start loving ourselves. And it all starts with number one, being in that loving space, because if I want to give you something, but I don't have it, then I can't give it to you. It's like if I had a bag of oranges here and I wanted to give it to you, I could give it to you. If I don't have love for myself, but I want to give it to you, it's really hard to give full love if I don't have it right here. So taking some time to be grateful in the mirror, to be grateful for every day, to be grateful for the birthdays, because I've heard a few people having the birthdays this month. So yay for the birthdays this month. And we're getting at that time of year. I'm thinking about the birthdays and how we celebrate. How many of you have seen It's a Wonderful Life? Most all of us have. If you haven't seen it, it's such a great movie to revisit. I'm actually revisiting it with some friends this Friday, and I was thinking about the movie because I've watched it so many times. You have touched so many lives that you don't even know. You know, by touching your children, your friends, your family, your spouses, the people that you went to school with. You have touched and given people a part of your heart and a part of your knowingness and a part of your blessing that you are, and then it ripples out there. The most interesting thing that in this movie, because George Bailey has that epiphany, well, it'd be better if I had never been born. And then he goes through the whole thing, if he had never been born, it's like, if you had never been born, there's so much the rest of the world would miss out on. But at the beginning of the movie, when they are looking for some angel to be able to take care of George Bailey, come down and give him some help, and the master, it's so fun with the old-fashioned stuff where it's like this little star twinkling, and he's like, okay, Clarence, I need you to go down and help George Bailey. And Clarence asked the question, why? Is he sick? Did somebody die? And he said, no, worse. He's discouraged. Worse than anything is being discouraged, because once we're discouraged, it slows everything down in our body. It depresses our cells, being discouraged. So we want to be encouraged by who we are. And if we have stories in our mind that we're telling ourselves that aren't working for us, then reframe it and start a new story. It's like something wonderful is happening. We're on this journey called life, and what is mine to do? What would I love to do today? What would make me happy today? What could I do? And I mean, we're just 4 blocks from the ocean, so it's like, okay, go get some ocean waves. Anything at all to be grateful for, and focus on that. Because the more we focus on what we love and the goodness and the gratitude, the more we get more of that. Plus, it's such a beautiful healing thing. I know I have another quote up here on prosperity. Is there another one by Kathy Ann Lewis? Did I put that up there? Back one? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Well, then I'll just say what Kathy Ann Lewis says, because I want to do this one first. Okay, there it is. Having the life you want often requires the courage to do things differently. Having the life you want often requires having the courage to do things differently. I love that quote, because it's like, if I want a life that I want, I may have to step out of my comfort zone. I may have to do things differently. I may have to ask somebody for help. I may have to show up in ways that I haven't shown up before. And then Deepak Chopra goes on to say, the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And in our willingness to give that which we seek, we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. Because you see, giving and receiving are really the same thing. If I give myself a breath, I can't just hold on to it. I have to release it. So it's like breathing in love, exhaling love. Breathing in abundance, exhaling abundance. Knowing that we are all sharing the same air. And so if I give to the universe that breath of life, because it's given me the breath of life, then I continue to have more of the breath of life. It's the same thing when you're giving something to someone, giving it freely. Freely I give, freely I receive, releasing, letting go, and being in that openness to receive. Years ago, when my sister, she put herself through college by waitressing, and she said everybody would be like, oh, the lottery, buy a lottery ticket, get a lottery ticket. And so she asked, do you think you could accept the lottery and all that money? Could you accept all that money? Oh, absolutely, easy, no problem. I can accept that money. So she'd wait a little while, and then she'd go hand somebody $1. Oh, no, I can't take that. And it's like, no, really, I just want you to have it. No, I can't take that. It's like, well, if you can't accept $1, how are you going to accept the lottery? Be in that open space. My teacher, Reverend Brian Anderson, used to say, if somebody gives you something, you say, thank you. Got any more? Let's have more. Let's be in that open readiness. Let's be willing to receive, because sometimes people want to give you something and you're like, oh, no. But it's like, it's that reciprocity. As I give, I always receive. So giving, receiving. And it's hard to be a gracious giver if you are not a gracious receiver, because it's all the same thing. So I'm going to know everybody's a gracious receiver today as we're doing our abundance, and keeping in that abundant flow of gratitude, love, peace, harmony. And I believe I have one more quote. The fastest way to bring more wonderful examples of abundance into your personal experience is to take constant notice of the wonderful things that are already there. So being in that space of, there's so much abundance in my life. There's so much goodness. And I just say, yes, 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 universe. I stay in that gratitude space knowing something wonderful is always unfolding. I had been talking for a while, because that's by Esther Hicks. I had been talking about taking a cruise, an Abraham Hicks cruise. I'd been talking about it for months and like a long time. And then my children surprised me with an Abraham Hicks cruise a couple years ago. They're like, oh, you should have the cruise. You should go on this. You should have a private room. You should have one of those wristbands that say you can drink all you want. I'm like, yes, best day ever. Not that I really partake that way, but, it was great to be able to have that experience and to be in that abundant space. And, when people give you something and it's so overwhelming, because I did not expect that from my children. They're amazing and great and very, very, very gracious at giving so much. But when you're not expecting something and somebody gives you something that's so much, it's just like, oh, no, okay. Because sometimes we have that, we bump up against some resistance. So I'm knowing our walls of resistance for any good that's flowing is just gone. That we don't bump into that wall, that we're just open. And we tune into that inner knower that just knows that it knows that it knows that it knows that something wonderful is unfolding, that life is good. Regardless of anything going on out here, it has no power over the divinity of who I am. I just am who I am. And making peace with who we are and where we are in our lives is the best thing we can do and the best gift we can give to the world. Not allowing anything out there to control what's going on in here. When I tap like that, because sometimes when I'm too much in my head, I have to remember and tap my heart. My youngest son, who is also my financial advisor, even when he was little, he would tap on his head. He's like, I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. And it's like, he really is thinking about it. So sometimes when we want to think about things or we want to change our story or bring it down to our heart, just tapping that space and saying, I'm knowing all is well, and I'm coming from my heart in love and peace and harmony, and I am open to the goodness, because we can put that in our body language. And so your mission today, should you choose to accept it, first of all, do abundance. But to notice all the good things in the world out there. I know a friend of mine used to say every day she wakes up and finds 10 miracles that she can see out there in the world. So look for the 10 miracles that are happening. The sun is shining. The sky is blue. Flowers are blooming right where you are, because when you walk by, you have an energy field that is surrounding the world in love. And just know the divinity of who you are and see the miracle in the mirror of who you are, knowing nothing out here has any control over what's in here. And so it is. All right. Thank you. So now we're going to our beautiful Ruth, our fabulous volunteer. This place could not run without volunteers, so thank you so much, Ruth. We're going to do our offertory, so giving, receiving, again, same thing, knowing that as we give, we absolutely do receive. So we will say, many ways to give. Let me go with this. You can use the little QR code there on your phone and do that, or you can just put something in the basket, or if you are watching us online, you can use the QR code, scan that, or go to Redondo CSL and click the link that says donate here. It has a little heart. Okay, so let's say our giving affirmation together. It's going to happen. I've been back there before, and it's like, okay, yay for volunteers, and thank you for helping. All right. divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. All those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Thank you. And some of you may be thinking, you should just know these words. I should know these words, but we say about the similar, very similar up in Apple Valley, where I spend most of my Sundays now. The words are a little bit different, so I'm trying to always make sure that I have them right, and so having it there, but knowing that as we give and just feeling that gratitude that we have the opportunity to give and that we have the opportunity to be here in California, in one of the best places in the world, with wonderful, amazing people. So now we get to open this up to any comments, questions, words of wisdom, or anyone wanting prayer treatment. We have Vincent in the back with a microphone. If anyone has comments, questions, words of wisdom, prayer treatment. It's a contemplative day, it is. And if nobody, okay, we have one back there and then one up here. Yes.
Just something quick to say. We've all been through something last night that everybody knows what I'm talking about. And then today I just looked at my dog and I said, I want to spend some time with you because you don't know and you don't care.
I love that.
That's
yeah.
all.
It's, yeah. And, you know, opinions on all sides, and I try to stay neutral, try not to watch any of that, and stay in that space of peace and love and harmony and knowing something wonderful is unfolding, regardless of how it is and how it isn't. David.
Thank you for that. That was really good. A friend of mine wants to tithe me a couple $1,000s for doing something I don't want to do. Oh. But no, I want to do it. It's good for me. And it's, so I was thinking, should I accept it? And then hearing that today, I've been thinking about it, that I do want to accept it because he's in a very good position, for one. And number two, I feel like I deserve it.
Yes, I love that. How many of you say yes?
Yes.
Yes. And, you know, sometimes we may not want to accept something from somebody because we feel like there's strings attached, but I'm just going to know when somebody gives us something, and maybe they've asked us of something, that there's a reciprocity in there and there's goodness. And I keep myself in balance, so it's like I am willing to receive and all is well, and it really assists the other person in opening up their flow, because if I try to give you money and you don't accept it, you've just blocked my flow. Exactly. It's like I'm in that flow, so let's know that giving, receiving, it's all good. So yes, yay you. Yeah, let's all manifest some goodness today. All right, okay. And I thought she was going to wait until you got all the way to the back of the room, but
I was, because I wanted to have exercise. Yes. It's so important. Well, no, I was thinking, can I really share what I'm thinking? But I love your talk. It goes very much with what I was telling myself, and it gave validation to that idea, I guess. Because what I was telling myself was, okay, things don't always go the way I think I want them to, but there's always opportunity. So what is the opportunity for me here? What can I do? And I actually felt a kind of excitement, thinking that I would do things outside of my comfort zone that I might have thought of before, but I feel an urgency about it, and it could change my life in a good way. You know, so just having that faith that somehow or other, no matter how things are in our lives, or whether it's political or personal or whatever it is, that as things change, that there are new opportunities, and we can find that optimism and that excitement in exploring it. So thank you.
yes, absolutely, yes. Well, and giving ourselves kind of that pep talk every day, you know, it's like I'm going to get out there, do life, and allow the flow and the goodness of life to flow through me with ease and grace and love, and always in the right place at the right time. And things that maybe show up that we're bumping up against might be a catalyst to move us in another direction. Yes. Oh, yes. Let him run.
You got your steps in.
Yes, he did.
Okay. I just loved your talk. And this morning I was talking with friends, and I just had this inspiration. My daughter had come last night at 9:30 with flowers and good and plenty, which I love, because I got, and I went, who's at my door? And it was wonderful, because what happened is I had called her and many friends, my journey and my spiritual healthy journey. I got a call yesterday from my doctor, and I'm wellness of being and cleared and healthy. The good news. Yay, Bev. So anyway, talking with friends this morning, and I have it on my phone, and I would like to share what came up. So I took the flowers, and I have one of my favorite pictures is the ocean, and it's kind of stormy. And I had a light, and I had a star, and I made this collage. And it said, here's what I said: the perfect storm, the light is shining, and we are still blossoming and moving forward. Hope. We are the solutionaries. Love always, Beverly.
Oh, I love that.
And I've been saying I'm the solution. I made up the word, I'm a solutionary. So,
A solutionary,
and your
yes.
talk was just really wonderful. And I'm listening to the voice, and it said, please share. So I did.
Yes, love that. Trusting that inner knower that says, go this way, go that way, share this. Yeah, because like the movie It's a Wonderful Life, all of us have a wonderful life in some way, and sometimes we're maybe not looking at that part of it, we're looking at something else or looking at everything here, but if we just go into that space of there's something wonderful happening within me, life is good, and I'm going to keep listening to that inner knower that's going to guide and direct me for all the highest and best. So let's all go inside our heart of hearts for a moment and put this blessing inside ourselves, knowing that there is one mind, one power, one infinite intelligence. We are a beautiful wave of energy. As we break it down and break it down and break it down, there is nothing but energy. And so in this energy space, the bubble of the I am that each one of us is, we are knowing that there is health, harmony, peace, love, goodness, and prosperity. That we just allow ourselves the goodness, that we accept the abundance in the world, that we are in that gentle flow of life is flowing without resistance, that we just go with the flow, allow the goodness to unfold, and stay in that love space, love for ourselves, love for the people around us. Knowing that we are stardust and people love the stars, and so we love ourselves, we love each other. And we just keep this blessing, knowing that the flowers are blooming everywhere you walk, the sun is shining, and goodness is flowing. And in great gratitude for each and every person here, I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. All right, let's have the best day ever. Do a bun dance out there. Yes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the beauty.